Today is Test Automation Day in Rotterdam. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy that we have such a conference in the Netherlands about test automation. Test automation is getting more and more important. It was already important, but it's getting even more important every day at our customers. So I'm happy that we have a good conference here in the Netherlands with a lot of well-known international speakers. And I'm looking forward to the keynotes and the different track sessions.
Thank you, Esther. So, welcome everyone to the third edition of the Test Automation Day. It's wonderful that you're all here.
The old 1401 could perform just over 4,000 calculations per second. This is a mobile phone of today. It costs about 50 pounds. It has a microchip the size of your fingernail, and it can do about 1 billion calculations per second.
We wanted to have a benefit to get the dull stuff out of the way and have more return on investment in the end. But
it's break time now. We just had our first two keynotes, and well, during this break and the next break I will try to find some people to interview them and see how they perceive this conference and the content they've been delivered. Running.
I have a small mobile robot with a sensor here which can see color, and if I put it on a colored square like this and start it, it will take an action. The question is, what action does it take, and what is the next action when it's going to the next square? There you go.
Hello, my name is Dorothy Graham. This is my first visit to a Test Automation Day. I must say I'm enjoying it very much so far, although it's only half over yet. We've had some very good keynote talks this morning and good presentations, so I'm looking forward to the rest of the day, and it's lovely to see all the Dutch testers.
You want to do that in a smart way. Part of that smart way is that you always incorporate the tests written for new functionality. You make that part of the regression test later on. Another part of doing it smart is what we are here for today, test automation.
Based on that, we have a tool that generates test suites and scripts. Those test cases are applied to
version of the operating system. It takes 3 months, half a year, maybe a year before the supplier of the device will upgrade its operating system on that particular device.
So I found the test automation days very useful for actually going over some of the things that really I had not considered, like the cell phone vulnerabilities. And I also found some value in going over things that I have considered, but the detail was very valuable compared to some very high-level things that you get in other conferences.
Early. One of the things that I'm interested in test automation basically is that over time I've seen that actually not much is changing. Focus is mainly always on driving out manual testing and not as using automation as such, driving for automation because it's a good choice to do and test with.
Create some automation scripts that support the tester to execute their test cases instead of having a full-blown GUI automated test environment, which I think can be a bit difficult because you're always lacking on new improvements, and it's hard to get up to date with the latest and greatest things developed by the developers. So test automation for me is more supportive for the testers in the sense of scripting.
the really interesting part is that two worlds are coming back together, which is the development and testing. We're not anymore in the V model, but together in test-driven development and model-based testing. And this is one of the courses, I believe, that will have a bit of future in the future. Thank you.
So I've been really impressed that the discussions about test automation are not happy la everything's perfect, just buy a tool and everything's going to work. But instead we've really dug into the nitty-gritty and we've said this particular approach worked here and it didn't work here, and why didn't it work, and what should we do to try to give context and analysis for people when they come up with their strategy instead of just doing cookie cutter. And that's really encouraging, and I'm glad to be part of the conversation.